Entering the cool, dark Elliott store in Manhasset, my mother placed her hand on my scrawny neck and ushered me to the back. We were going to buy a suit for my bar mitzvah, my first suit. She pointed toward the large boys' rack, and my heart sank. They all looked like something my father would wear to work. I shrugged. "Try one on, just for size," she said. A salesman hurried over, baggy pants flopping over his brown shoes. "Just for size," he echoed. "You don't have to get it." I was old enough to know what they were doing, but too young to stop it. I pointed to the one without stripes. My mother said it was charcoal gray. The salesman held out the jacket like a matador holds a cape. I contorted myself in. He jerked down the back, walked around front, and tugged at the lapels, then the sleeves, then buttoned all 3 buttons. "Perfect," he exclaimed, before handing me the slacks and pointing toward the changing room. The slacks were 2 feet too long, baggier than pajamas, and the crotch was located somewhere near my knees. I padded out of the dressing room with a wad of gray material bunched around my white socks, a silly grin on my face, waiting for the howls of laughter. "Gut," spat the short, balding tailor who had appeared, pins between his shadowy lips. He also wore baggy pants. His sleeves were rolled, his tie loosened. I turned to my mother with a smirk. She looked away. She was not going to protect me. He said, "Get up there," pointing to the carpeted riser. The man put his stubby fingers through the belt loops near my hips and hiked the pants up just below my nipples. "That's not where a man wears his pants, Sonny. On your waist." "But I don't." "You'll wear 'em there," he said. I turned again to my mother. Eyebrows knitted, lips pursed, she gave me that "or else" look. Next, he pulled out a yellow tape measure, stuck one end up just beneath my crotch, and slid the other hand down along the tape to my ankle. Shrinking into myself, I giggled and bent over. "Straighten up, Sonny." I straightened up. "These aren't dungarees, Sonny. You want to be a man? You dress like a man." At my bar mitzvah a month later, I looked like I had gone into my parents' closet and put on one of my father's suits. Big padded shoulders, oversized pants up to my chest, enormous cuffs that fell like living room drapes around my shiny black shoes. In the 58 years that followed that undefining day, while high school, college, marriage, and the births of 7 children and 16 grandchildren sped by like telephone poles on a speeding train, I have never once felt old enough to fit into a suit. I have gotten by as a writer and a teacher with the typical Levi's and colored t-shirt look. Put me in front of a class, behind a rototiller, underneath a sleeping baby, on top of a leaking roof, and I feel like a man. Let me read you a poem, plunge your toilet, rock you to sleep, yell at you for being out past curfew, hold you close, be your lover. I have known enough of life and death, ecstasy and despair, the suffocating heat of love, the bone-knocking chill of loneliness, to know my place as a man in the world. Put me in a suit, though, just for size, and I still shrink like all men do in freezing streams, a little boy all alone out in the big, cold world.